So where did you have in mind for fish?
Is this on video?
Yeah.
Good morning. It's been a fantastic drive through some desert terrain. We're in Reno, Nevada. When I got this comment almost a decade ago, I had no way of knowing how many adventures would come from simply saying yes to that invitation, including the incredible adventure in this very video. On behalf of every young child out there that grew up dreaming, looking up at planes flying, I'm very thankful that through your channel, you give us an outlet to live a lifestyle that just seems incredible. Like to see someone build things, fly things, hang out with their buddies, go camping, all on an airplane that you can land anywhere. It's just like to have access to that storytelling to me is genuinely really enjoyable.
Well, thank you. Yeah, no, it's a wild thing. One of the motivators of starting the YouTube channel was I've always been fascinated by flight. I had RC planes growing up and I loved it. I was just terrified of flying, and it never even once crossed my mind that it would be something that I would be capable of for some reason.
Terrified of flying. So like, did you just commercial flights, or what part terrified you?
And the minimal experience I had or small experiences I had in small planes also scared me.
The last time I did this road trip down to California, I took up Trent on his invitation to stop in, and that was my first time ever in a bush plane, and the experience blew my mind.
That is so cool.
But alongside that, I was also fascinated with the home that Trent and Haley had just finished building. I greatly appreciated their hospitality, and I made a video back then about how rad I thought their house and lifestyle was.
Trent, this is a dope shop, dude.
It's not quite a shop yet. This is a garage. One day I will build a real shop, but we've got the shop portion of the garage, and it's a work in progress.
The shop will be in the airplane hangar? Like next time when I come by, is there going to be a hangar, or what's the...
Depends on how long it takes you to come back by, but hopefully come sooner than that.
So you can imagine I've been very much looking forward to coming back down and seeing the hangar/dream shop in person that Trent has built. I mean, everything he does is to this incredible standard of excellence. But a bug that I caught when I visited Trent's place last was finally wanting to give fly fishing a try. I mean, I had always wanted to, but Trent really convinced me, you've got to actually go experience this. So we most recently went up north in Canada with our friend Jake into the Spatsizi Wilderness, an area twice the size of Yellowstone. And let me tell you, just an incredible place to experience. And I learned everything I could about fly fishing from Trent on that trip. But clearly not enough, because later I did a solo river paddle without bringing any food, with the idea of catching fish to eat. And let's just say that didn't quite go to plan. But now on this current road trip to California, the place I camped last night was actually Trent's recommendation. And I mean, come on, anybody who's willing to share their secret locations with you to check out yourself is an incredible friend. I got skunked fishing yesterday, and I shot my buddy Trent a text. He said, well, that spot's pretty hard to fish right now, so should probably just go to a better spot. So we're going to go to a better spot. We're flying to a better spot.
Come on in.
Dude, this is so sick. The lighting looks incredible in person. I'm genuinely blown away. Like, you see it in pictures. I mean, you're basically living a version of at least a lot of people's dream, where you've got a hangar at your custom-built house with an airstrip, with a plane that you can take out at any time, weather willing, and just go for a flight. Like, that's come on, dude.
It feels pretty good. Yeah, I still have to pinch myself at times. It's pretty cool. And I know last time you were here, this was just dirt. It was a hope and a dream. The main goal was to be able to get the plane out to the house, but it also fits as a kind of multi-use space. I use it as my shop to store all the filmmaking gear, working on stuff, as well as camera equipment. I built the whole building. I did hire friends to come out and help me, and I rented the proper equipment. It wasn't like I was just doing all this off ladders. I had lifts and everything, but just the hex lighting, that was a 40-hour week. This is a Legend Nomad, and compared to traditional internal combustion aircraft engines, like regular airplanes are still running lawnmower technology. Most of them are just, they're air cooled, they're carbureted. The propeller's literally just bolted to the crankshaft. So you're limited on the RPM that the engine can make, because the tips of the prop will be breaking the sound barrier. So the Rotax is a modern day engine that does go up to 5800s redline, but it runs through a gear reduction. What that means is I can spin a bigger prop at a lower RPM, which is a much more efficient zone. So it converts horsepower to thrust much more efficiently than any other engine. And this one's turbocharged, fuel injected. It's what they call FADEC, which is full authority dedicated engine control.
Okay, I didn't comprehend almost anything what you just said. What can you do in this plane that I can't do in just a generic Cessna? Like,
the overall purpose of these type of aircraft is to be able to land in rough, unimproved areas and bring, you know, people or gear in. A lot of people have been using it forever for hunting and fishing in Alaska. This one, and again, this is based on a Piper Super Cub. The original Piper Cub was made in the 1930s, I think, and then the Super Cub came out in the late 40s or early 50s. So this has the DNA of a plane that's been around for 70 plus years.
Yeah.
It's just the modern version, just beefed up, stronger, better, modern.
And how much of this build is custom?
Not a ton.
Like, could I walk in and buy this from someone, or do you have to get it set up?
You could go and you would build it. So that what Legend does, it's a builder assist. So I show up and I did what would be considered at least 51% of the build. So I went out there 7 different times and went and built each part of this thing. And then at the end, I'm the builder.
Right.
That way it can still be experimental.
Describe to me the types of places that you like to take these planes. Like, where do you like to go?
I like to go anywhere that isn't an airport. I love taking it out to find new fishing spots. That one's a double win for me because I love fishing, but I also love the challenge of how do I find somewhere to land that's near the river that I'm fishing. So kind of like the skill set I built for years trying to learn how to land these things and shop out landing strips. You can use that with the purpose of fishing. But, you know, I love landing on mountaintops. Gravel bars are fun.
I took as many notes as I could in Spats Easy. You were teaching me how to fish. And I didn't learn enough apparently because I got skunked yesterday. Could not find anything.
That place can be tricky.
That's good to hear.
We're going to go somewhere a little less tricky today.
A little less tricky?
Yes.
I like the sound of that.
Yes, this is a little desert oasis pretty much we're going to. I'm not going to say exactly where it is because it's kind of a secret spot. But super small little creek and there's a good population of trout. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Foot on the tire and then just sit here.
Doesn't take much, huh? That is absurd. Every time. Doesn't get old.
The experience of flying in a plane like this, I find really challenging to describe. I mean, the distances you can take off in, the places that you can go. And so as Trent has taken me to one of his secret fishing spots, I wanted to share something about the truck I've been driving on this trip. So far on this road trip down to California, I put over 1,000 miles down the road in the GMC Sierra EV. I'm driving the Elevation model. And of course, there's a lot of really cool tech inside the truck. But there's a feature that has totally caught me off guard for how much I love it. I've been totally geeking out. And I initially did not take much note of it. But let me tell you, day in and day out, loading gear into and out of the bed of this truck, doing all sorts of different projects, loading equipment, loading tools. The Multi-Pro tailgate has totally impressed me. You can open it with a press of the button, fold it in half, and get a step immediately out of the tailgate for you to get into the actual truck bed itself. It's a seamless feature on this already really capable truck that just makes sense. It feels like it belongs there, and it is so nice to use. And of course, if you want to use it as a full-size tailgate, you absolutely can do that. I'm constantly laying out my gear, offloading footage, cooking lunch. There's a lot more I'm excited to share with you about this truck. So make sure to keep following along in this series. Hit that subscribe button because there's a lot more good stuff coming up. Thank you, GMC, for sponsoring this video. Make sure to check out the link in the description for more info.
This is so cool. Yeah, and it might get a little bumpy into this canyon, so we'll just feel it out. I mean, it should be pretty laminar, but we have 22 miles an hour on our tail right now, so.
For so much of my life, I never thought this was something that I was capable of or was even an option. And I didn't realize there was this many freedoms in flying and that it was this accessible and all this stuff. And I was like, I feel as though I have a duty to share it, because it's like, for one, I still like making videos. At the time I was full-time as a pilot, you know, in the film industry with drones. The FAA required that all of the commercial pilots get at least a private pilot license in an airplane. But that's what made me go get my pilot's license. And it was much cheaper to do in an airplane than a helicopter.
Yes.
So, and again, it was a means to an end. I never planned on stepping foot in an airplane after I got my certificate. And it was like, by the time I was at 20 hours, it started, you know, I was less terrified and more like this, I get this. And then come check ride, I was like, how do I keep doing this? The Kit Fox was my last airplane. The real like selling factor of that was the price. I mean, I got it for 39 grand. It runs car gas and it burned like 5 gallons an hour. So back then gas was like $3 a gallon. I was like 15 bucks an hour to fly the thing.
Okay, so this is the creek. It's going to be under our right wing in a second. Where we're landing is a ways up. There's just this little white trail that goes into some little white patches on the hill. I'm going to up-fly it. I'm going to make a pretty sharp turn because I'm going to put smoke down and we're going to fly back and look at it. Cool. But yeah, this is the creek, that little tiny thing. Yeah, you weren't kidding. It's very narrow, tiny. So it's going to test your casting skills and everything skills. It can be frustrating, but it can also be great.
You just stand right over it and just drop your line right.
They're super spooky, so you got to stay downstream of them.
Okay. That's so damn smooth for being off air. That's just nuts to me. Being able to come into off camber, off normal, off that, and then just immediately scrub it in. Like, I mean, that's...
Thanks, man. I appreciate you.
Dude, that is so sick.
Cool spot, huh?
I mean, flying is just such a treat into like, I don't know, there's something so special about, I like the slower airspeed going down towards the terrain. Like that is just, I still have never watched the river flows through you or whatever that river runs through it. I still have never, it's on the list.
Nice. That was on the top fly. 2 steps farther forward.
Ah!
Oh, it was on a baby fish. Jeez. Sad. Yeah, that was on the top fly, dude.
They might not eat. Oh, that guy didn't care.
This is like, don't you see how I compare it to the mini golf of fly fishing?
Oh yeah.
It's like, you got this tiny little thing, you're watching your buddies, it's all the short game. We don't really care about casting that far, but
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Mini golf is apt.
it's so fun. It's my favorite.
Yeah, dude. There it is.
If you enjoy adventures like this, I highly recommend following Trent. He's got some incredible videos. And I actually did an entire hour-plus long sit-down, a conversation going even deeper into Trent's filmmaking process, how he does what he does, all the ins and outs. So if you're the kind of person that wants a more detailed, insight look, you can find that video as well in the description.
Oh, look at it. There you go. Okay. I'm gonna keep its head up and just drag it into this net. Nice, dude.
I had one more itis. I was like, I'm ready to go. I'm good, Trent. I'm having fun, but I want one more.
Yeah.
And here it is. Oh, dude, that's so sick.